So, Paige Bueckers' debut, man. It wasn't that good, not gonna lie. Not that good.
The Dallas Wings suck. That's my first thoughts. The Dallas Wings suck. They suck.
Remember all that WNBA buzz around Paige Bueckers? Yeah, Napheesa Collier just shut it down. She dropped a jaw-dropping 34 points and completely stole the spotlight. That highly anticipated UConn versus UConn showdown, it wasn't even close. Collier made Bueckers look like just another rookie.
It was just the two-man game between Napheesa Collier and Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams with 25 and 9 assists. Napheesa Collier with 34 points.
While Paige could only put up 10 points on 3 of 10 shooting, Napheesa Collier lit up the third quarter with 18 by herself. The Texas crowd went quiet as the seasoned pro took over. This wasn't just a game, it was a wake-up call. A clear reminder that WNBA success isn't handed out based on college headlines. The same media that hyped Paige before she ever played a minute. They're now scrambling for answers. Collier just gave her a masterclass in what real pro-level dominance looks like. Do you think Paige can rise to the occasion? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it.
They absolutely suck. They have no coach. They employ Napheesa Smith. Like, their coach doesn't seem to know about. Their coach was shocked that the Minnesota Lynx were cutting so much. A team whose offense is cutting. Like, again, they employ Napheesa Smith. That is an important statement to make. They employ Napheesa Smith.
The buzz around Paige Bueckers leading up to her WNBA debut was next level, something the Dallas Wings hadn't seen in a long time. Sports media couldn't get enough of her. Every other segment was a highlight reel from her UConn days. Analysts were already labeling her the league's next breakout star, and all of it happened before she even stepped on the court for a single pro possession.
Paige Bueckers is coming in, and she's going to be a driving force.
Clark is going against Paige and Dejanay. ESPN today, when they were talking about Paige, one of them says, I think Paige will be a good player this year, but I'm not expecting a Caitlyn-like impact, and that's an unfair bar to set. Dallas Wings using the promo poster of Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark to hype that game up.
You know what's crazy? The Dallas Wings moved merch in all 50 states and even 23 different countries just because of Paige Bueckers. That's unheard of for a team that's rarely made national headlines. The franchise's COO, Lauren Turner, couldn't contain her excitement, admitting that Bueckers brought more attention to the team than anything else in their entire 10-year existence. From the jump, the Wings went all in, treating Paige like the franchise savior. The arena in Arlington packed wall-to-wall with 7,000 fans paying top dollar to witness what they thought was the start of something historic. Lines stretched around the building hours before game time. Fans showed up in brand new Bueckers jerseys. Local stations aired interviews with kids saying Paige was already their favorite player before she'd even logged a single pro minute.
And a lot of people are saying, oh, everything is she was Caitlyn before Caitlyn, she's better than Caitlyn and all this stuff. That kind of stopped in the media. Caitlin Clark put up better numbers in the WNBA than Paige did in college.
What flew under the radar amid all the Paige Bueckers buzz? The Dallas Wings basically sidelined the rest of their roster in their marketing push. Every graphic, every promo, every social media post had Paige front and center, while seasoned vets, players who'd actually earned their stripes in the WNBA, were shoved into the background. The message: this was Paige's team now, and before she even laced up for her first pro game, the expectations were sky high. ESPN analysts were penciling her in for 18 to 20 points right out the gate. One commentator even said she'd instantly rank among the league's top guards. On basketball podcasts, the debate wasn't if she'd win Rookie of the Year, it was whether she'd land on an all-WNBA team her first year. This wasn't just hype, it was borderline fantasy.
She is the chosen one, as they say. That may not be the case for Bueckers. For those of you wondering if Paige's acceptance into the WNBA will be different than Caitlyn, delusional fan base that follows Caitlin Clark disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go into that league and tear it apart.
But once the game tipped off, reality came fast. Paige Bueckers looked unsure, caught off guard by the physical defense from the Minnesota Lynx. The swagger she carried through her college years at UConn seemed to fade under the pressure of the pros. The sold-out arena that once buzzed with excitement started to quiet down with every missed shot and lost possession. Broadcast cameras kept cutting to her on the bench, face tense, frustration growing as the Lynx pulled away. You could feel the pressure piling on her shoulders with every quarter. This wasn't the highlight reel Paige fans had memorized. This was a young player coming to grips with just how tough the WNBA really is.
All right, so let's take a look at what Paige did, okay? This is Paige Bueckers right here. She went 3 for 10 from the floor, 0 for 2 from the 3, took care of the line. She had 7 rebounds, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 10 points, all right? She had 2 turnovers, 3 fouls within the game. She took care of the line. So, yeah, it really wasn't that good. She didn't have a great day of shooting. Not what we're used to seeing her being efficient.
By the time the third quarter rolled around, it was clear. Paige Bueckers wasn't making the impact everyone expected. Instead of taking control, she seemed lost in the flow, still trying to figure out where she fit. The same crowd that erupted at her pregame intro, now they were scrolling through their phones, their excitement fading fast. Commentators who once hyped her up as the next big thing suddenly shifted gears, blaming nerves, inexperience, or the usual rookie adjustment period. When the final horn sounded, the box score didn't lie. Just 10 points on 3 of 10 shooting, no made threes. Sure, she added 7 rebounds and 2 assists, but this wasn't the breakout debut fans were promised. As people trickled out of the arena, the buzz was gone, and so were the sky-high expectations, for now at least.
Every time Paige Bueckers dribbled up and passed the ball, she just stood on the weak side. She stood on the weak side and watched. That's on the coach. That is 100% on the coach. Paige was watching. She was a passenger most of that game.
Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the court, Napheesa Collier didn't just show up, she took over. While Bueckers was still trying to get her bearings, Collier went on a tear, dropping 34 points with surgical precision. She sliced through defenders, hit tough shots, and dictated the pace from the opening tip to the final buzzer. It wasn't just a great performance, it was a masterclass. The difference was undeniable. One player looked every bit the seasoned pro, the other, a rookie learning the hard way just how steep the climb is at the next level.
34 points on opening night. How did that feel? Feels good. Feels better to get the win. I'm glad we threw it around the second half, but it was nice.
Man, it felt good. It felt like what we're trying to do all season long, man.
What's the mindset this season?
The mindset is to go get us a ring, so we know what we got to do.
Just go out there and take it. You know, I think we have all the tools to do it. We just got to go out there and show it.
The difference between Collier and Bueckers wasn't subtle. It was massive. Collier didn't just outscore Paige by 24 points. She made it look effortless, shooting lights out while the rookie struggled to find rhythm. This wasn't just a case of a vet outperforming a newcomer. It was a live demo of what real WNBA dominance looks like. The hype around Paige meant all eyes were glued to her, but they missed the real headline. While the crowd was waiting for Paige's arrival, Napheesa Collier was already putting on a clinic. No flashy promos, no viral buildup, just pure, unshakable game. The reigning Defensive Player of the Year didn't need a storyline. She just needed the rock.
I'm really happy for Paige. I really like Paige, her family, the way she plays. Like, she's just a great person and player, so I'm really happy for her. I texted her, like, good luck tonight. Don't do too much against us. You wait till your next game. But, yeah, I'm excited for her.
What do you think? Some character that you admire?
First of all, her work ethic, and then I think just the way that she's already a three-way player. Mid-range is probably the hardest to master, and she's really good in the mid-range. But especially as a point guard, being able to score at all levels, and then her vision, really impressive, especially for someone who hasn't played professionally yet.
The first half remained fairly close, with the Wings hanging tough and the Lynx holding only a slim lead. Paige had a few bright spots, keeping Dallas fans hopeful and the game competitive. But then the third quarter hit, and everything shifted instantly. It was like a light switched on for Collier, who turned into a scoring force no one could stop. She racked up 18 points in that quarter alone, the highest single quarter total of her entire career. Every time she handled the ball, the energy in the arena seemed to drain away from the Wings supporters. The cheers for Paige faded into anxious quiet as Collier methodically dismantled Dallas's defense.
Napheesa Collier game is so smooth. Like, I'm literally on threads and we just talking about it in real time. It's like, bro, you don't even realize at that time, I believe she had like 24, 26. And it was just, it's so easy and it flow in sync in the game where it's not like, but even with Courtney Williams, it's like, it's big plays. It's like, and then it's a big shot. Where feed game is just so smooth. It's come off a pick and roll. Oh, she open. She take the person off the dribble. She in the corner for a 3. She at the top of the key for a 3. It's just effortless into the flow of the game.
The Wings made a critical error by assigning Melissa Smith to guard Collier, a decision Collier took full advantage of. She relentlessly targeted the mismatch, racking up easy points and drawing fouls to get to the free throw line over and over.
And by the way, every single time Melissa Smith is on the floor, they attacked her. They attacked Melissa Smith every single possession. they attacked Alyssa Smith.
What stood out most about Collier's game was her sheer efficiency. She was flawless at the free throw line, sinking all 8 attempts without a miss. Beyond the arc, she knocked down 2 of 3 shots, showing she could hurt Dallas from any spot on the floor. Her shot choices were smart and calculated. She took what the defense allowed, never forcing difficult attempts.
You kind of don't realize, like, oh, dang, Fee got 34, because you could easily see his parts of the game where she was actually calling for the ball or trying to even be more ball dominant. Fee could have easily had a 40 ball game with, like, without a doubt, a shadow in my mind. But she just allows the game to actually come to her and allow the game to flow and allow her teammates to catch rhythm. And that's how you have Courtney Williams with 25 points and 9 assists. Like, that pick and roll game was looking like Stockton and Malone. And I'm not going to lie to you, John Stockton J ain't nowhere near as clean as Courtney Williams be giving it up.
The third quarter turned into a showcase for Collier and Williams. Together, they scored 33 of Minnesota's 35 points during that stretch, nearly outscoring the entire Dallas Wings by themselves. With Courtney Williams by her side, Collier methodically tore apart Dallas's defense. Coach Cheryl Reeve understood exactly the weapon she had in Collier, especially with key players Alana Smith and Kayla McBride out of the lineup for this game. After the match, Reeve praised Collier's aggressive moves to find her spots and emphasized how the team was laser focused on feeding their star player. It was a clear, deliberate game plan to highlight their top talent.
She was aggressive. I think she knew the spaces that she could be in, and I thought we were persistent in getting her there. That was one of the things that we said before the game. You know, we had on the board Fee, that we need to understand where Fee needs the ball. And you know, we can't go multiple possessions without that happening. And so we had great recognition in the third on that.
What unfolded was a statement game worthy of an MVP, a powerful reminder that while rookies like Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark grabbed the spotlight, the WNBA's established stars aren't ready to step aside. By the final buzzer, Bueckers fans were left speechless, as Collier's commanding performance stole the show entirely. The numbers speak louder than any analysis: 34 points on 12 of 21 shooting, a flawless 8 for 8 at the free throw line, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, and 8 rebounds. But beyond the stats, it was her perfect timing, delivering her best when the stakes were highest in that pivotal third quarter, the moment that ultimately decided the game.
I'm honestly focused on more than MVP. Like, I want us to win a championship this year, so that's what I'm focused on, and the awards come after that, you know? So, of course, like, you want to win those awards, but I'm way more focused on the team. Like, I want us to get a championship.
Let's address the big question on everyone's mind. How does Paige Bueckers' WNBA debut compare to Caitlin Clark's first professional game? Both arrived in the league burdened with sky-high expectations, hailed as generational talents thanks to their college success. But when it comes to their introductions to the pros, their stories couldn't be more different.
Paige Bueckers has had one of the best careers in the history of women's college basketball. And looking at these ratings for the women's tournament, it is abundantly clear Paige Bueckers might be a star, but she's not a draw.
The stats paint a clear picture. Clark dropped 20 points, hitting 33.3% from the field and 36.4% from beyond the arc, while also contributing 3 assists and 2 steals. Meanwhile, Bueckers managed just 10 points on a 3 for 10 shooting night, missing both of her 3-point attempts, though she did grab 7 rebounds and dish out 2 assists.
And a lot of people are saying, oh, everything is she was Caitlin before Caitlin, she's better than Caitlin and all this stuff. That kind of stopped in the media. Caitlin Clark put up better numbers in the WNBA than Paige did in college.
What really set these two debuts apart was the kind of defense each rookie faced. Clark was immediately met with relentless double teams and physical pressure from the Connecticut Sun, who treated her like a proven star, making it their mission to shut her down. On the other hand, Bueckers faced more typical defensive tactics from the Minnesota Lynx. They played tough, bodying her up and pushing her off her spots, but she didn't endure the constant double team pressure Clark battled. Clark's ability to put up 20 points under such intense, focused defense is impressive. She pushed through like a river carving its way, refusing to let obstacles stop her and keeping her performance strong when many would have struggled.
Caitlin Clark got beat up last year because Caitlin Clark was everything the women who she stood on the shoulders of weren't. She was a nice, straight girl that balled hard, had a different game, and it pissed everybody off, including the little gals on ESPN.
Social media quickly picked up on the gap between the two. One fan bluntly said, "Y'all claimed she was better than Clark." Another pointed out that Bueckers didn't quite live up to the generational talent hype, saying she's nowhere near Caitlin Clark's level. As the debate heated up. Someone even claimed Clark would have averaged 35 points facing the same defense Paige did. The media coverage echoed this divide too. Yahoo Sports ran a headline saying, "Despite the loss, Paige Bueckers shined in her WNBA debut," while describing Clark's 20-point effort as an up-and-own WNBA debut. The way the two performances were framed couldn't be more different. Even the same outlet labeled Clark's statistically better game as inconsistent.
We want to see Caitlin Clark and we want to see Paige Bueckers.
Caitlin scored more points per game, but Paige was more efficient.
Their mindsets on the court couldn't have been more different. Clark stayed relentless, firing through missed shots and tough defense with the confidence of a true scorer who believes the next basket is always coming. Meanwhile, Bueckers seemed to pull back as the game went on, losing some of that early aggression when her shots didn't connect. Cameras even caught a rare emotional moment with Bueckers' father, visibly moved by the pressure of the debut. Later, Paige herself said, "The first one's always the toughest. You need a starting point, a foundation to build from." While Bueckers talked about laying that groundwork, Clark came into the league ready to drop 20 points against any defense. Bueckers is likely to grow and clean up her game, but her first outing confirmed what some had quietly suspected. The gap between these two might be bigger than anyone expected before the draft.
They like Caitlin Clark because she's not a victim, because she doesn't seem to be angry. And so they find her relatable. She's not playing with anger. She's not playing with a sense of entitlement. And yes, people find that relatable. She shoots logo threes, passes the ball like Magic Johnson, scores a lot of points, leads the league in assists. She's a great, great player, and she plays and shoots and releases the ball like Steph Curry. So there's the attraction to the exciting style of play.
In the end, both players will be judged by their entire careers, not just their first games. Still, those opening impressions carry weight, especially when they confirm existing doubts about how each will handle the jump to the pros. The stark contrast played out like a drama. Paige struggled to keep up with bigger, more physical defenders, while Collier ruled the court with the poise of a seasoned veteran. The Wings pinned their hopes on Bueckers' star potential, but Collier made it clear what separates promise from proven performance. As fans recalibrate their expectations, this face-off shines a light on rising stars like Caitlin Clark. What do you think? Will Paige live up to all the hype? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an update.